Wellness Mondays. My name is Claire Hurley. I'm the city manager of Madison B-Cycle, the bike sharing program in downtown Madison. A few things we'll go over today. I'm sure you guys have seen the bikes downtown. We have 27 stations and 270 bikes right now, with more to come. So we'll go over kind of what is B-Cycle, some information about our stations and some trip overview. And some interesting things we found about our users last year. I'm going to play a quick little video here. This just gives a general overview of what B-Cycle is, and it was actually shot in Denver.
Imagine a bike that's there when you need it, wherever you are, and gone when you know. That's B-Cycle. And you can check one out from any B-station like this one. Now let's learn how to read. First, press the kiosk button to read your B-station. On-screen directions will guide you through step by step to open the door and select the bike. To speed up the process, you can also sign up with bcycle.com for a daily, weekly, or annual membership. With an e-card, you can skip signing in at the kiosk. Just press the button to bring up the dock and tap your e-card to unlock the bike. The bike you selected is now unlocked. The dock of the unlocked bike will continue to be for approximately 30 seconds. Before riding, make sure to inspect the bike thoroughly. If you find anything wrong, simply return it to any dock and choose another bike. You'll also want to adjust the seat height and be sure to wear a helmet. When you're done, simply return the bike to any empty dock at any main station. The dock will be twice and the green light will flash rapidly to indicate the bike has been returned. And that's how to be. Pretty easy.
I apologize if the volume on that was a little low, but so B-Cycle is a bike rental sort of service that differs a bit from your typical bike rental program. What we are is bike sharing. So with that, with any purchase of a membership, either we have 24-hour memberships available for $5 or annual memberships available for $65. Little note on that, St. Mary's employees, St. Mary's is one of our sponsors, so an annual membership is available to you for $45. And I'll give you the information on that at the end of the presentation. But bike sharing has really taken off in the United States, and it was kind of originally really big in Europe, and now there's 12 B-Cycle cities all over the country. Denver was our first B-Cycle city, and it has over 50 stations. Madison's a little bit smaller than that, but we are expanding. So with bike sharing, the idea is that you'll visit any B-station with your membership and you can check out any bike. What's included with the membership is an unlimited number of 30-minute bike checkouts. So bike sharing, again, differs a bit from bike rentals where you could have it for the full duration of your rental period. With bike sharing, the idea is that you take out a bike, ride it to a different B-station, check it back in, get coffee or go to the bank, run your errands, then you can check out another bike and ride it back. So we have a lot of people that use B-Cycle as sort of a park and ride. What they do is they'll park their car for free towards the outsides of Madison, one of our stations, maybe at Eastwood and Division or Violet's and Arboretum, and then they'll B-Cycle the rest of the way either downtown or near their office. And that way it saves, I've heard, sometimes $12 a day in parking, especially for downtown employees. So bike sharing is really the alternative to taking a bus or taking a taxi. What you can actually just do is hop on a bike rather than making that trip in a vehicle. With our system, we have what we call 4 pillars. So that's the B-Cycle, the actual bike. Our bikes are aluminum frame and they have a steel fork, so they're very durable. I don't know, has anyone ever ridden a B-Cycle in here? No? They're pretty heavy. They weigh just about 40 pounds. And the basket on the front can actually carry 20 pounds. So the reason for that is they're just made to withstand, you know, all types of weather, all sorts of riders. They fit anyone from about 4'9" to about 6'5". The only adjustable feature on the bike is the seat, which goes up and down. But as I said, it does fit pretty much all of our users. Another pillar, we have the B station, which is what you'll see 27 of right now around Madison's landscape. We'll be adding an additional 8 this summer in May, and that's the future coming soon stations can actually be found on the map. There are 4 on there right now, but we'll be actually adding 8 in total. The software and the operations, that's more on the back end side. So with B-Cycle, the great thing about it is that we can, once you sign up for a membership, you get a profile on MadisonBcycle.com, and from there you can log miles driven or miles ridden, calories burned, your carbon offset, the approximate amount you've saved in gas money. So one of the great benefits also is we're able to see where people have been riding. So that's a really big help to encourage more bike infrastructure around Madison. So what we can do is we get a little breadcrumb trail of where everyone has been, and in those really busy places where, you know, maybe there isn't a bike lane or a protected bike corner or a bike box, some of those really busy places, that would be a great place to put one, and we communicate that with the city. So B-Cycle is very supported by the City of Madison Parks Department, and a lot of our stations are located in parks. So we work closely with the city on that, and wanting to share our information with them so we can improve biking around Madison for everyone. A little bit about how Madison B-Cycle works. So what you'll do is you purchase a membership, and it can either be purchased at the kiosk. You can purchase a 24-hour membership, as I said, for $5, or you can purchase an annual membership online at our website, MadisonBcycle.com. Again, those are typically $65. For St. Mary's employees, they're $45. And through the month of April, we're running a half-price sale, so really the best deal is that, and that's $32.50 for annual memberships. After you have your membership, you can choose a bike from any B station. So if you're an annual membership, you'll get a red B card that you can actually just walk up to the bike of choice and check out right from the actual dock and not have to worry about visiting the station. 24-hour users, like you have with your Experience B-Cycle trial 24-hour membership there, what you'll do with that is you'll register that online, and then you'll go to a kiosk, insert the credit card that you used online, and that'll act as your membership card. So from there you can check out a bike at any B station. And then adjust the seat. We do encourage helmet use, so actually all of our annual memberships are mailed with a bike benefit sticker. With that sticker, you're able to put it on your helmet, and you can show it at, I think, over 100 different local Madison businesses for discounts. So just that extra encouragement to make sure you're wearing a helmet. They're not provided at the kiosks for multiple reasons, but we encourage you to bring your own. From there, you can adjust the seat to the desired height and go anywhere. Again, we have, you know, a pretty large network of stations, and it's expanding, so we try to put them in either desired destinations or along the way to on bike routes where you might want to take a bike on a leisurely ride. After you've ridden your bike, you can park it at any B station, so you don't have to revisit the one you were at before. The idea is that they'll just kind of naturally balance themselves, and one question that we get a lot of the time is, what happens if I visit a station that's full of bikes and I can't dock my bike? Well, we have 2 full-time mechanics that are constantly rebalancing the stations, but we find them pretty self-balancing, so we try to keep them at a ratio of about 1 open dock to 3 bikes. So with that, we always want to make sure that there's room for someone who wants to dock a bike. In case it happens that a dock or a station is completely full of bikes and there's nowhere for you to dock your own bike, what you can do is visit the computer at the kiosk, and it'll give you an option station full. It'll give you an additional 15 minutes and a list of the closest stations where there are docks available, so you can dock your bike. 3 beeps, and that's how you know that your bike has been confirmed to return. Again, this is some information about the membership and pricing. Some of the biggest questions that we get is, why the usage fees? Why is it? It looks expensive and complicated. Well, with bike sharing, we have 270 bikes, and in 2011 we had over 6,000 users. So with that, really the usage fees are to encourage turnover of the bikes. So you'll pay for your membership, either $5 for a 24-hour or an annual membership. And again, that includes an unlimited number of 30-minute bike checkouts. If you go over 30 minutes, that's no problem, but you should be aware of the additional usage fees. So it's $2 for 31 to 60 minutes, and then $5 for each half an hour over an hour. And again, just to encourage turnover and sharing of the bikes rather than keeping them. Madison B-Cycle, a little history about that. We opened last year in July, actually was our official opening. We did open a little bit earlier, kind of a soft launch, June 1st. And we had 10 stations. From there we grew to 27 over the course of 2011. And the vision, really to make Madison a great, vibrant place to work and get around, just making transportation easier and reducing our carbon footprint. Madison is very natural fit for bike sharing with all of the great bike paths and bike lanes that we have. Again, a little background on Madison B-Cycle. So Trek provided the capital costs to the city of Madison for a bike sharing program. Usually what would happen is a city would come to B-Cycle and ask for the infrastructure to be provided, and they would fund money with either grants or taxpayer money that they collected. With the change in government last year and the different mayors, or the change in mayor, I guess, Trek actually took on the full cost of donating the system to Madison. So we work closely with, again, the City Parks Department and where we put the station locations. Most of them are in the public right-of-way. So again, we just have to work very closely with the Parks Department and the City of Madison in making sure that those are good spots for a B-Cycle station, that they'll be used, and that they're easily accessible for everyone. Let's see. We're actually the only for-profit B-Cycle program in the whole country. Of those other 12 programs, they were all run by nonprofit agencies. Again, that just comes from being donated by Trek. They run the operating under Trek employee, and we cover our revenues and operating costs by member revenue, sponsorship, and advertising. B-Cycle in 2011. It was a really good year for us last year. We had over 18,500 trips in our 200 days that we were open. We had more than 6,000 users, 472 annual members, 4.3 million calories burned, a really good amount of carbon offset, and we closed the season with 27 stations and 270 bikes. This is just another map of our stations, which I think most of you have on your postcard. One fairly convenient to you, just out back. I don't know if you've seen that one out there, but there's one very close to you, and then one at the other side of the Arboretum by the tennis courts. These are our top 10 stations from last year, so this is by bike checkouts. Number 1 was easily North Park and Memorial Union. Obviously a great destination for not only students but also community members. It's kind of surprising that our top 2 stations are the smallest stations, so they only have 9 docks. We knew that these would be really highly used stations and there wasn't a lot of space to put them in. So we went with the 9, and they were our most popular stations. John Nolan and Law Park, that was actually a very popular destination for our annual users. Again, the park and ride. So people park their cars on that parking lot behind and then B-Cycle up to their office on the square. This map, if you can see it, shows trip popularity. So The green lines are one-way trips, and then the red circles are round trips. So as you can see, the one down here, this is John Nolan and Law Park Station, Wisconsin and East Mifflin, and then Memorial Union. So a lot of times people will kind of just take a one-way trip and leave it, but then those three stations saw the highest amount of round trips, and that's really just the commuter and the people that are parking and then taking a B-cycle and then B-cycling back at the end of the day. This is a little bit of information about B-cycle users. So 54% are casual users, and casual users would be really the 24-hour members, or last year we were offering a 7-day membership, which we aren't offering anymore, it just wasn't very popular. And then annual members made up 41%. We did have some special event trips, and that's when we actually just set up shop. We drop down our B-cycle tent, and we make a station with a computer. So I can sign in, and we can just check bikes in and check bikes out manually. We did that a few times at the Monona Terrace. Again, some data on our users. 9 out of 10 members are casual users. A lot of our members are people that are visiting Madison, so either they didn't bring their bike with them, or they're staying in a hotel that's close by and they'd like to get out for a little bike ride and recreation. This is a map of our annual users. As you can see, they're primarily focused in the Madison area. We do have a good amount that are working and living in Milwaukee, kind of scattered around about. We also are just getting started with a program that will allow all B-cycle users to use their B-cycle card in different cities. It's being started right now between Denver and Boulder, and then next year it'll extend to all the cities. So if you become a Madison B-cycle member, you can also use your B-card at Denver and Boulder and any other B-cycle program. A little close-up again of the annual members. Things to look for in 2012. We just opened last week. We're again at 27 stations and we'll be adding 8 more. We're really actively growing our corporate membership base. So a great thing, again, like we're doing here at St. Mary's, is offering a discount to all employees. So that is kind of continued throughout at different companies downtown. Continuing with educational campaigns to just let Madison know who we are and what we do. And then we have expanded our partnership with the University of Wisconsin-Madison. They're one of our biggest sponsors, and again, there's some information about a $20 membership for students, faculty, and staff up at the front table. This is the information that you need to take advantage of a $45 membership through St. Mary's. Right now, annual memberships are half price, so that would trump this discount. It's available for all people that want to join at $32.50. If by chance you don't join in the month of April, you can still take advantage of a discount, $45 for St. Mary's employees, and that's good through 2012. And I'll take some time for questions if you have any. Yeah.
You said, I know that there's a location just near our hospital by Wingra and our surface parking lot. Can a bike be taken from there through the Arboretum? And did you say there was another B-cycle location at the end of the Arboretum on the other side?
Well, I guess it kind of comes out in the Tacoma area, right? Well, there is one at Vilas Park in the tennis courts. So just behind the zoo and kind of behind Edgewood High School.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to take a little ride around that area, you could easily plug it in there and then check it back out and come back for the rest of the day if you were on your lunch break or something.
Is there any plans to put a station on the other side of the Arboretum for people to ride through the Arboretum? I'm sure that's been discussed.
There has been some discussion on that and a lot of requests. Right now, I wouldn't say it'll go in this year, just because that would kind of extend us out in a direction where we don't have a lot of stations right now, and we try to pair them kind of close to each other. So if by chance a station gets full or it's empty, and we can't send a tech out immediately, then we like to have them just a little bit closer together. So that's neat.
You know, issues with, you know, optimally it would be a parking lot that would accommodate enough cars to do a park and ride, like the commuter Oak Mill is, which is, you know, has buses that take people in. Like Law Park doesn't have a real big parking lot, you know, like Olin Park does, but it's a little jaunt up to Law Park. Like there's no free parking lots like the zoo here, which would probably run in conflict with people that use the zoo. So do you have any issues with that, with the city and
To be honest, not really. We haven't, I guess, seen the usage that high that all bicycle users are kind of taking up the whole parking lot. So not right now. We have a station at Tenney Park that's fairly large too, and people can park there. Otherwise, there's a lot of people use street parking on the Near East Side. So we haven't really seen that issue come up yet.
How late are they usually out in the fall?
We are open April 1st through December 15th. We're planning to open March 15th this year, and then in December, we didn't think the weather would be as nice as it was, and pushed it back to April 1st, and kind of we're wishing we had stuck to our original date, but we might be opening March 15th in 2013. And hours also are 5 a.m. to 12 a.m.
and how many 30-minute rides can you use with your annual membership?
Unlimited. Our top user last year was Michael Falk, and he had 301 trips on his bicycle membership, which was a real accomplishment, I'd say.
Is a half hour adequate, or is it because people just take short rides and you want increased turnover?
Well, that's a great question. We kind of debated whether it should be a half an hour or an hour. And with Madison, our stations are pretty close together, and a lot of the time people find that they can get to most stations within a half an hour. And that's, again, something we definitely take into account when we're looking at new stations, like one out towards the beginning of the Arboretum. We wouldn't just want to drop a station out at Hilldale, because it would take most people more than 30 minutes to get out there. So we do take that into account when we're placing the stations. And to be honest, it's something that we might change in the future. We might go with a longer grace period. But for the most part, most bike shares have a free period that's right around 30 minutes. Some Boulder, I think, is 1 hour, but for the most part, it's right around 30 minutes. And it seems to work. We're not very hilly, so you can easily kind of coast quickly to your destination.
Well, should we go ahead and do the drawing for the free annual membership?